For many years of my life, I was searching to be successful in everything that I was doing at all times. I was obsessed with it. I wanted to be the best. And something that I didn't understand about being successful is that it has absolutely nothing to do with what it is that you're doing, what it is that you're focused on, and everything to do with what is going on internally within you in this moment. Because success is an inwards thing that can be seen in the things around you eventually as you find more success internally within yourself. Because everything that's going on in your life out here in the world is merely a reflection of what is going on within you and how well you are connected to that and are co-creating with that. What the hell does that even mean? To a lot of people, that might not make a lot of sense. And this is something that I've touched upon many, many times. There's two states that we as humans can operate from, and either we are operating from the ego, simply from the ego, in the forefront, running things. And this is when we, the deeper aspect of who we are, our energy, what we are experiencing deeply within the feeling state, is a place that we don't want to deal with. And that's when you develop a very strong ego as to be disconnected from the deeper aspect of who you are. And this is something that happens to a lot of people on this planet. We disconnect more and more and more and more from the heart, from the sensations that we can experience within us because we feel like we're not good enough. We feel like there's something off about me. Things that perhaps you're not even aware of in this moment because these beliefs and these things that we feel about ourselves, this shame that can exist, this guilt and so on, becomes unconscious to us as we live more and more through the ego of who we are. The ego is a protection mechanism that is keeping us from experiencing reality as it is, from experiencing ourselves as we are. And while you are living life through a fake lens, through the ego, simply through the ego as the master of your life, then nothing that you do will ever lead you to what it is that you seek. And everything about your life is only ever about being distracted from the deeper essence of who you are. And a person that is living in a place such as this are obsessed with being successful, are obsessed with trying to achieve something. They want a partner. I need a relationship. I need money. I need success. I have perhaps a number of addictions. I'm addicted to drugs, alcohol, whatever it is. I'm addicted to patterns of my own thinking. I'm addicted to always beating myself down. I'm addicted to being in a negative self-talk with myself because the negative self-talk is only a protection mechanism, a pattern of thoughts that is keeping you occupied from your own energy that you're always operating from, deeply and internally within yourself. We're always operating from an energy. Either we're connected to the energy or we slowly condition ourselves to be a program of doing things as to be disconnected from the deeper truth of reality that is first existing through who we are. Because when you are not even deeply connected to who you are yourself, you're not connected deeply to anything outside of you either. Because you're so deeply focused on a small set of things that is all that exists within your reality. So you limit your ability to get the things that you want because you're so fixated on small things that isn't or ever was able to give you what you're seeking or what you're searching for. For example, you could be attached to a pattern of always holding yourself down a little bit, not daring to go after the things that you truly want to go after in your life because you're afraid. You're afraid of expressing yourself or showing yourself as you truly are, as you embody more of who you are and do the things that you truly want to do in your life. Perhaps quit this job or go after something entirely new in your life. We are our own sabotage, and success becomes impossible when we are disconnected from our own selves. Life can be extremely simple, extremely easy in a sense, when we let go of our own resistance to experiencing ourselves as we are. Because when you are living your life through who it is that you actually are, you don't shy away from the fact that I feel a little bit inadequate. I feel a little bit of shame or fear or anger or whatever it is that I lost conscious awareness of. Because I choose to live my life through an ego mechanism instead of who I truly am. Simultaneously as this happens, this energy that I'm experiencing within myself never gets worked through, as I'm never allowing myself to be who I am. And so I lock myself into a specific character of who I am, because this energy is never processed through the act of experiencing it, because I never allow myself to go there. I live my life simply through the ego. I have an overactive mind. I overthink things. I chase things. I feel like I always need to expect and get something. I need a goal. I need an outcome. What many don't understand is that the ultimate goal is reached when you yourself is the end of what it is that you seek. When you start feeling so beautifully amazing internally within yourself that you do things for the sole reason of how it makes you feel, it also influences you into a person that creates the most insanely successful life, because the quality of the things that you are doing in the present moment of things, it's what creates your future. It's what creates the quality of what comes next. When we live through the ego, the quality of the things that we're doing in the present moment is always based on a survival mechanism. It is always to keep us safe from what it is that we're experiencing. We chase this thing, we go after that thing, and we're always met with new things of resistance, new challenges, new things just keeps popping up that is a proof of the fact that we're disconnected from the flow of the universe. Because when you're connected deeply to who you are, not shying away from who you are, not only do you work through a lot of these things that have previously conditioned and shaped you into being someone that is truly not who you are, that is attached to things that is just causing you suffering. When you let go of those things, you move back into the heart of who you are again, and into the flow of the universe. The universe operates through your heart, through your intuition, through the depth of who you really are. The depth of who you are is not the ego and its protocols. There is a deeper awareness to who you are. You are aware of the ego. But when you get so lost in the mechanisms of the ego, into these thought patterns, you lose sight of the fact that there is something much grander to me than just the ego and these programs that I have. And I can recognize that in my attempts at searching and trying to get something, trying to achieve or whatever it is, that thing, that search is never taking me to anything. Because that's not how the ego works. The ego is simply creating a big mess, a big search, a big go after, a big trying to do something, a big thinking if this is the right thing, if this is the wrong thing, thinking if I should be doing this, if I should be doing that. It's not to take you somewhere. You're fallen for the illusion. It is simply to keep you occupied in a pattern of having your attention so fully booked and occupied by your ego that you cannot be connected to the deeper essence of yourself, that you've lost contact with. If you are not respected by other people, it is because you are not respecting yourself. And respect to yourself comes by allowing yourself to feel like shit sometimes, allowing yourself to realize that, wow, there's some shame here, there's some fear here, and I can feel this, and it's okay. I show myself the respect by allowing myself to go here without judging myself. I'm allowed to feel a little bit like this. It's okay. I don't have to change this. This is just something that's been going on inside of me for a long time. And it's time to just be with it and experience it. And in that process, I start connecting back to the flow of the universe. And I start connecting back to allowing the universe to work with me. Because as long as you're attached to the ego and its way of doing things, always executing on a program, you'll also simultaneously lose out on your ability to be truly successful in this world, because success is first from living your life as you are within, because that connects you to the flow of the universe that can allow you to land in a place in life where things are more beautiful than you can imagine. But that requires a certain level of trust. That requires trust, and that's the hard part, right? The trust that if I stop overthinking myself all the time, or if I allow myself to just not be so fucking reactive to everything all the time, and instead allowing myself to experience myself and reality a little bit as it is for a moment, like, wow, I don't have to chase this thing right now, I just have to be a little bit. And as the thoughts keeps dying down a little bit and you keep moving back to this new way of behaving, of allowing yourself to be a little bit more present, a little bit more here in the moment, you're gonna realize that a lot of the things that made it so that I was sabotaging myself can start to dissolve through the act of me not acting out all of these fucking programs that I have. I just move away from the programs a little bit, and I make that into a habit. I start moving away more and more and more and more from the programs by being more consciously present about what it is that I do that is in reaction and not in the being of things. And as I said in the beginning, success has nothing to do with what it is that you're doing, but everything about what it is that you're experiencing. You know, a lot of people start a company and they're experiencing a lot of shame and guilt and inadequacy. They feel like they need to prove themselves, and like they are feeling a very challenged state from within. And they go start a business, and some fail miserably and some succeed, but then eventually realize that, wow, this has nothing to do with what I was searching for. I still feel like fucking shit. Because what they were doing had nothing to do with the success that they were searching for, or if they were gonna be successful. That was always internally. First from within. From allowing yourself to be deeply who you are, coming back into the knowing of the fact that there is deeper aspects of who you are that is very easy flowing, that makes life easy. There is a true and authentic version of you that doesn't overthink things, because overthinking is just a survival mechanism taking you away from things internally that you don't want to be in the presence of, that you now lost complete awareness of as you continue to live your life more and more, a little bit at a time in a program. That's how we slowly lose this connection to the universe, to ourselves, through the body and who we are. By a little bit at a time, through the experiences that we have, disconnect ourselves just a little bit more, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. One experience at a time, one experience at a time. Because this world that we live in, they don't want us to be fully realized as who we are. They want us to fall into the system of how things are supposed to be. They want us to be a good worker. They want us to fall in alignment with that. Our own family don't want us to speak out of line and be something that is of a challenging nature to them either. And so when it comes to their own trauma and their own conflicts within themselves, they make sure that we act in alignment with that also. We can't express ourselves in a way that they're not allowed to express themselves. And it just gets passed on. We bury things. We lose touch with who we are. It's very natural. It's very, very common. So success is about deeply connecting to who you are, finding the spark of love from within that you are, the deeper essence of who you are, and then just setting it loose. Recognizing that everything that you do from that point on, it doesn't matter what you do from that point on. Go make YouTube videos, go become an athlete, go back to some work you did previously. It doesn't matter what you do. You are going to be amazingly successful with whatever it is that you're doing from that point on, because you're already successful from within. You find the peace and the tranquility from within yourself first, and then allow yourself to move forward in the world from this place within yourself internally. Which means that everything just aligns for you at this point. Everything turns out better than expected. Everything turns out into everything that you ever dreamed of. Because you manifest reality based on the experience within yourself. And when the experience within yourself is of that high, amazing level, then there can be no other way for the things around you as well. So those things start to align for you as well. But first you need to recognize that those things have very little to do with what you seek. What you seek is simply a deeper allowance over who you are, learning to connect deeply back to who you are, so things can turn out amazingly for you. But there's no shortcut here. You're not going to get these things by achieving that or getting that. Those things have nothing to do with what it is that you're searching for, or what it is that success actually is. That first must be experienced internally by yourself through the allowance that you give to yourself. You need to start believing in yourself, believing that you're worthy, that you're good enough to go to this place, to exist as you are. Because a lot of this stuff, the reason why we develop these programs and get lost, and why we get confused, why we get so attached to things, is because we so deeply crave these attachments, these programs, because in the absence of them, we are only left with us. And then that little belief starts to creep in. I need to prove myself. Something about this is not as it should be. I don't know why I feel like this, but you can be damn sure it came from an experience or a past life, or wherever the fuck it came from. It came and is now here. And it's time to release it. By allowing yourself to just be who you are on a deeper level than perhaps you ever considered before. If you want to learn more about this, check out my free 30-minute subconscious success course, totally free, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Love you guys. Bye.